folks. So as you can probably tell, it is nighttime because I'm a very off-task person. When I was making my plan for the day, I envisioned myself getting to this recording segment like hours earlier, literally hours earlier. And then, you know what happened? It took me so long to do things that it is now literally like 8 o'clock at night and I'm starting this vlog, which literally makes zero sense. But I'll do my best to give a little overview before I hop into things. So basically, here's the rundown. Last night, I got a text from Nate, who, as many of you who have been following these vlogs probably know, is one of my few friends that is still around at the moment, because a lot of my friends are gone for the summer doing weird summery things, work stuff, internship stuff, you name it. So yeah, Nate's one of my only friends who's still around, and I ended up getting a text from him at 2 in the morning informing me that he was going to call me at 8:30 in the morning. There was no context behind this. There was no reason for it. I didn't need a call from him at 8:30 in the morning. It actually turned out to be a terrible thing to agree to, but he just said he was gonna do it, and I was just like, no, there's no way. This kid, I didn't even know it was physically possible for him to wake up at 8:30 in the morning. Like, we're talking about the kid who would literally just straight up miss his morning classes because he was too tired and would just sleep in. So the idea of him calling me at 8:30 in the morning doing something so menial, I was just like, no, there's no way. So I made a bet with him, and I didn't really know what to bet. I didn't really feel like betting money or anything because I have to say, his willpower is the biggest risk factor. So I'm like, all right, how about this? I'll bet cookies. So basically, like, if he didn't call me, he would have to make me cookies. If he did call me, I would have to make him cookies. So it literally took me until probably 5:30 in the morning to finally fall asleep again after getting woken up at 2 in the morning by these random pointless texts. And I was finally in my zone, thriving, until I was rudely awakened by a loudly buzzing device at precisely 8:30 a.m. It's more of an injury to my pride, honestly, that he won the bet, but now I have to make this kid some cookies. And I thought, you know what better video opportunity is there than baking cookies? I feel like this channel has just like gradually become a low-key cooking channel. I promise you guys I do more with my life, but like in this case, baking cookies on video is just too great of an opportunity to pass up. Now what would be even better is if this video miraculously hit 2 million views like Emma Chamberlain's cookie video, but you know, that's definitely not gonna happen. Unfortunately, I'm not cool like that because I don't have wide whisk varieties. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I've just been really off my like pro video game lately. I've just been kind of winging it. So yeah. Anyways, I guess I better get started on the cookies because Nate's supposed to be here in like an hour. We're probably gonna go up to his college house and like hang out. Try to think of something interesting to do because I've pretty much been in the house all week and that's like really boring. Like really boring. So yeah, that's the plan. But I'm just trying to like delay the process of going downstairs because it just rained and it's now like 90 degrees and humid. So I literally stepped downstairs for like 2 seconds and started sweating and it's disgusting. It's awful. Words can't even explain. But anyways, I guess I better go down there now and get started on the cookies because I really lost out this time. It's gonna be a lot of effort. Anyway, so today we're going with a good old-fashioned Toll House recipe. That is right, chocolate chip cookies. And I do change one thing from this recipe because this is not the original Toll House recipe. This is like a slight modification. I do 3/4 of a cup of each type of sugar, so just throwing that out there before I get critiques in the comments. Anyways, yeah, so that's what we're up to, folks. That's the scoop. The first step, of course, is to preheat the oven to precisely 375 degrees Fahrenheit. It is preheating right now, and that's just fantastic because now it's gonna get even hotter in here. Amazing. Anyways, I sincerely hope that this is set up adequately because it's really hard for me to get a feel of the framing right now, but I'm just gonna assume that it looks good, and if not, it's going to be a terrible video, so I'm prepared for that. Anyways, this is not going to be a very intense recipe, so I'm gonna start off with the dry ingredients in this bowl right here. First, we're gonna need 2 1/4 cups of white flour, the healthiest variety. Well, not really, but we'll go with it. I don't really measure things that precisely. They're cookies, you know, they're gonna come out how they come out. Anyways, there's number 2. And here's our extra little morsel, the 1/4 cup. Next, we're going to need a teaspoon of baking soda. I don't really know why we put it in a mason jar, but I'm not gonna question it. Now, this is something you want to be generally a little more precise with. That's about as precise as I'm gonna get. And now, of course, we need a teaspoon of salt. I like to put in just a tad extra because who doesn't like a little salt in their cookies? Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff off to the side. And now we're just gonna give these good old dry ingredients a little whisk action. Lovely. And now we'll put this off to the side because now it's time for wet ingredients. Actually, it kind of just occurred to me that I'm gonna need a bigger bowl. Wet ingredients. First, I'm gonna get my 2 cups of butter up in here. Splendid stuff. I might have to soften it a little bit though because I was too stupid to leave it out. All right, so now I have succeeded in softening my butter ever so slightly, and I'm just gonna peel these babies open and dump said butter in bowl, like so. Here's number 2. It's being a little fussy with me. I don't really know why. There we go. Then throw these packies out. Now I am going to add precisely 2 eggs. Just eggy number 1 and eggy number 2. I'm gonna put these guys away. It's always important to maintain a clean workspace. Now it's time for my personal favorite part, the sugar. We need 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, that looks about right, and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, which is inconveniently in this jar. There's 1/4, another 1/4, and a final 1/4. We'll put this guy away now. Now the final step is not one to be overlooked. And that, of course, is the vanilla extract, which adds that nice little touch of vanilla-y flavor. We only need a teaspoon, but I personally prefer to add a touch more than that. So I'm just gonna let it drip out a little bit. There we go. And now we just gotta mix it. Now, because I am a very, very unintelligent person, I forgot that we recently replaced our hand mixer with this lovely, massive, industrial-sized stand mixer. So I had to transfer said ingredients into here, but you know what? I guess it'll be easier in the end because all I have to do is flick the switch and it blends up nice and smooth for me. So I guess now I'll go ahead and add some of my dry ingredients. I'll go with about half the flour so that we don't get a cloud of flour. Put this little protective layer over it. Hopefully it won't go everywhere, but some of it will get everywhere. Oh look, we've already got a little pile right up in here. All right, and now it's time to add the final bit of flour, even though you can't really see this part too well. And voila. Now here comes my personal favorite. Well, that was loud. Anyways, here comes my personal favorite aspect, adding said chocolate chips. Let's just give this bag a good old snip and dump. Of course, I have to treat myself to a couple, maybe a couple more. And that should be good, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't destroy something in this process, but we'll see. Oh boy, now that looks like some beautiful stuff. I'm telling you, this mixer is like the heaviest thing on the planet, but you know what? It does work pretty nicely. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape this baby. Not gonna get too carried away with cleaning this thing out because it's too much effort. And now I'm gonna pause this quick while I transfer it into another bowl because it's way too much work and I don't wanna mess things up. So I've officially transferred all of the dough into this smaller bowl, and seeing as it is disgustingly, humidly hot out, the dough is kind of getting a little bit melty, so I'm gonna stick it in the fridge to chill for a little bit while I clean up, and then I will make said cookies. Alrighty, so I've given my dough some time to chill, and now I'm going to begin formulating these delicious cookies. Now, I feel like everyone has their own cookie making method. I prefer to just use my hands. I mean, my hands are clean anyway, so it's not really a terrible concern. I'm a reasonably clean person, so I think the hand method is fine, but I basically just make them about this size. They could probably be a little farther apart, but I'm kind of trying to get these cooked quickly because, again, Nate is on his way soon, so I don't have that much time to get these baked. Alright, so I've officially laid out these cookies. Honestly, I have a feeling they might converge a little bit because it's literally so hot that the dough's already starting to remelt. So I kind of have to hurry up and pop these in and then put that in the fridge for a little bit longer. But, you know, it's what we got, folks. It's what we got. I'm now gonna set the timer for about 11 minutes and hopefully that should be good, but they might need a bit longer, so we'll have to check. Now, the wonderful thing about days like this is that you don't really have to worry about opening the oven too much because it's already just as hot on the outside as it is on the inside. So, you know, it worked. No, just kidding, but let's check on these. Ooh, looks like they're coming along smoothly. They're not converging yet, so that's good. Pretty proud of myself right now. I mean, they look like they could be a little close to convergence,
but they're not quite there yet, so yay me.
Now, since those cookies are almost done, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my next tray because they won't really have to sit out that long. I mean, the next ones are pretty much ready to come out, so yeah, I can set up the next one while I wait. It's about 3 minutes, so not too bad. But before I start, I just like to point out my use of this beautiful tool called a sill pat. I would highly recommend getting one of these if you're going to go into the cookie or pastry ventures, because it basically just makes it so that nothing sticks to the pan and it makes the cleaning process immensely easier. Sill pads are amazing, worth every penny. Anyways, let's go ahead and whip these out real quick. The timer is gonna go off in a minute and I'm really feeling the pressure right now. Like, oh my goodness. I'm definitely not gonna finish this in the time I have left, but that's all right. I got my mom calling me and the timer about to go off in 10 seconds. What a lovely combination. All right, I feel like that's about good. Now I better check on the ones in the oven. Hopefully they haven't burnt by now. They need like 1 more minute. They're a little raw in the center, you know? So I better take this moment to text my mom back. All right, they should be good now. Gonna pop the raw ones in. And I'll set the timer for 12 minutes this time. So yeah, as you can see, I should probably move that. All right, yeah, so as you can see, the results were pretty acceptable. There's some minor convergence here, but nothing a little spat action can't fix. You know, you just kind of gotta break them up. You know, they're lost lovers now. It's very sad. But anyways, my one stipulation about the way these are coming out is like, they're basically excessively flat, and that's just because it's literally so humid out that the butter starts melting the second I take it out of the fridge. So like, there's really no way to get a perfectly puffy cookie in this kind of weather, but I think that they'll be fine. They're probably gonna be a little on the chewy side because they're like a little bit lighter in the middle, but like darkened on the edges. That's really my preferred consistency. I kind of prefer it like crunchy on the edges and softer towards the middle. But yeah, it's a personal thing. Again, people get very weirdly specific when it comes to cookies, so I think that they're fine. They could be better if the weather was better, but that's out of my control. So I'm just gonna let them kind of settle here for a minute, and then I will proceed to transfer them to the cooling rack. Alrighty, so now I got a nice rack, as you can see. And guess I'm gonna be transferring the cookies now. There we go, perfect fit.
Now hopefully they won't take too long to cool, but my, they do look splendid indeed. And hopefully this pan cools down quickly because it's going to need the remaining cookies placed on it, and I don't want them to melt before they're even cooked. But yeah, this does look quite divine, I must say.
We've got a mini tray over here, folks. Some pretty kawaii stuff. Turns out the cookies in the oven aren't quite done, so I'm gonna give it a little more time and then do a little swappity swap. Oh no, looks like we got some more conjoining action, but nothing that a little spat can't fix once again. So now that I'm reaching the home stretch of this little baking extravaganza, I am now going to be doing the justice of taste testing this cookie, because what kind of chef would I be if I didn't take the time to evaluate my art? So here goes nothing, folks. Peep that melted chocolate. So good. My work here is complete.
Best cookies you've ever had?
Best cookies I've ever had that I wasn't expecting at
You know, I can give them to someone who's more appreciative, Nate.
What? Oh, amazing.
That's right, they're the best cookies this town has ever seen. Also, my makeup is literally melting off. I don't even have that much on, but it's melting. It's disgusting out.